Little Nightmares. This series became a fan favorite and a genre-defining game for many players. People quickly became addicted to the lore of this world and wanted to know more. Because of this, we got content after content for the universe. From 2 main platform games, with another on the way, to a mobile game, comics, podcasts, and more. The universe is vast and growing. But what would you say if I told you that there was a forgotten Little Nightmares game that was a thing even before Little Nightmares 1? Check this out. Welcome to the City of Metronome, a cancelled 3D puzzle platform game developed by Tarsier Studio. The game featured a young train engineer named Tin, who had to use sound in order to solve puzzles and maneuver his way through an industrial city controlled by a mysterious corporation. Let's check out a quick synopsis of the game. When the veil of conformity is lifted, you begin to question the world around you. Who and what are you in this city of continuous labor? What is the actual purpose of the Metronomes? And are the scouts really here to help the citizens, as the corporation claims? Together with the mysterious girl Nu, you set out to uncover her hidden past. A journey that will lead you through several exceptional locations, trying to reveal the truth about the mysterious corporation and find the purpose of the city itself. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, this isn't a Little Nightmares game. What a clickbait title. And yes, technically it isn't a game set in the Little Nightmares universe, but it 100% could be. If you look at this game and Little Nightmares 1 and 2, you will find a lot of similarities. Don't believe me? Let's dive deeper into the game and find them. First, let's talk about the gameplay. It is similar to Little Nightmares except for one major component. The City of Metronome was intended to be a puzzle adventure game. The protagonists progress by creating, recording, and modifying environmental sounds to defeat enemies or solve puzzles by manipulating people and metronomes. Aside from the sound aspect, it was a puzzle adventure game, which Little Nightmares also has many puzzle and adventure aspects. Sadly, we didn't get to see much of the gameplay, only what was provided to us via 2 trailers, but still, the puzzle aspect is there. The plot for Little Nightmares 2 has story elements very similar to the City of Metronome, with Mono and Six unraveling the Signal Tower's mysteries being similar to Tin and Nu trying to unravel the corporation's evil plans. Another significant component would be the characters. First up, we have our main characters Mono and Six, Tin and Nu. Tin is a young train engineer in training. He is an orphan who grew up outside the city under the care of a chimney sweeper named Chim, and he has always dreamed of working on a train. On his first day of working as a ticket boy, he encounters Nu. Nu is a curious and rather aggressive young girl. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds a little similar to someone else we know. She is on the run from the businessman of the corporation. She has an understanding of the corporation and its devices. The young engineer would have initially met her on a train into the city. She is disheveled and raven-haired. Now, these two could have easily been Mono and Six's original inspiration. To me, Nu is just an older Six. The designs are just too similar not to be an inspiration. And I can even see a few similarities between Tin and Mono. They both have similar color palettes and wear hats that cover their eyes. There are just too many things that fall into place here for it just to be a coincidence. The next set of characters I want to talk about and compare are the corporation characters versus the residents of nowhere. The corporation is this mysterious entity that governs Metronome. To maintain the great machine that allows them to create worlds, the corporation carefully governs the schedules of the city's inhabitants. Nobody knows the corporation's origins. They are also the ones who make the Metronomes. The Metronomes are the bodies of children who have had their souls cut out by the Scissor Man. Once again, this sounds pretty similar to a few aspects from Little Nightmares. Oh no, chat! What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Uh-oh. The Gnome King has become a gnome himself. The Metronomes would have been seen out doing low-level jobs for the citizens of the city, and they could have been manipulated by Tin using sound. We also see the children's souls being placed into the scouts, but we'll talk more about that a little later. Both games have this monster-stealing children plot element, as the corporation workers are very monstrous and very similar to the residents of Nowhere. Some of the more important characters from the corporations are the following. Mr. Gallo, a hunchback man in a wheelchair. We only see him from the concept art. The Clock Maestro, a tall man with a pocket watch and a long coat, once again only known from his concept art. The Scissor Man, a mysterious tall man who appears to be working for the corporation, he would have used scissors to cut out photos of the characters and thus their souls to create new metronomes. It seems that some part of his face were cut out. He also seems to have a briefcase with him. He can actually be seen in the trailer receiving a photograph of someone from the telephone office's security chief. And the Henchman, a small man who seems to work for the corporation, only known from his concept art. We also see these following monstrous beings who may or may not have worked for the corporation. We're not really sure. The first one is Jinx. This is a mysterious Pied Piper-like figure who seems to both have a cat and a human form. His likeness was seen in a play in the trailer, which showed him leading away small souls using a flute. We also have the Operator, a four-armed man who operates the switchboard. We have Piccolo, a bellhop only seen from his concept art. Dr. H. Berg, a lanky pipe-smoking man seen in the trailer as a dentist and in the concept art as a tailor. The Bicycle King, a mailman on a bicycle only seen from his concept art. And Biker Mike, a perpetually biking man the corporation seems to employ to keep the clocks running. We know that Tin would have captured the sound of the bicycling man to use as a weapon against camera scouts. Just by looking at these characters, you can start putting a few inspirations together for the residents of Nowhere in Little Nightmares, such as Piccolo and the Wax Bellman, the Scouts and the Patients, the Clock Maestro and the Scissor Man for the Thin Man, the Operator for the Supervisor, and much more. I can easily imagine these characters as residents of Nowhere. In fact, I can even imagine the City of Metronome as a city in the Nowhere. In fact, the flashbacks at the beginning of The Tale of the North Wind, a Little Nightmares comic, occurs in a city that looks pretty similar to the City of Metronome. Now, I know the original comics are no longer canon due to them being cancelled, but still, originally, it was going to be canon, and this city was placed in there with the idea of it being canon. Now, let's go back and talk about the Scouts. Scouts are robots used by the corporation. Scouts were meant to be powered by souls, which the player would have had to scare out of them with sound in order to defeat them. There would have been the Camera Scout. Now, Camera Scouts were meant to take photographs of children and the player, presumably to give to the Scissor Man, and he would have used these photos to create new metronomes. The Police Scout, they were meant to be a mid-sized enemy. It would have been fought in the city streets by using recorded sounds to scare the soul out of it. And it may have been able to fly using a propeller on its back. At least that's what it looks like in the concept art. There's the Hunter Scout, which is a four-legged scout that is only seen in concept art, and it looks like it could have been intended as a boss fight. Personally, I think this could have easily been an early boss fight, and then this enemy returns as just a regular enemy you fight throughout the rest of the game. There is also this potential scout. Like, some people think it's a scout, other people don't. It's this unknown human-faced scout. It's a strange human-faced figure seen only in concept arts. Tin would have encountered this into a prison segment, and I only say it may not have been a scout because it looks so different from any of the other scouts, but honestly, it's hard to tell, and we may never know. Funny enough, the scouts remind me a lot of the Patients, and this is mainly because of their put-together appearance. I mean, I don't really know why, because the more you look at them, the less similar they are to each other. They just remind me of each other for some reason. Now, after going through all of that, you can see plain as day how this game could have easily been a Little Nightmares game. There are just too many similarities for it to all be a coincidence. And I would have loved to have played this game. I would love to have seen the extended gameplay, see all the monsters, creatures, see what the metronomes were all about, and really just have a lot of fun. Because if it was a part of the Little Nightmares universe, if for some reason it would have so many cool lore implications. But sadly, it wasn't meant to be. Now, I know what a lot of you are asking. What happened to the game? To put it simply, Tarsier Studio was unable to find a publisher, so it was cancelled in 2007. And also, apparently during the gameplay, several issues relating to audio sounds started popping up. Now, with this being such a crucial element in the game, this was a big deal, and apparently the solution to these issues were not easily found at the time. So, there you have it. The Forgotten Little Nightmares game. Like I said earlier, I would have loved to see this game. It looks and sounds like a whole lot of fun, but sadly, it just doesn't seem meant to be. In fact, most of the community seems to have forgotten about it, and it's just been reduced to a few Easter eggs here and there. Even the developers seem to have forgotten about it. Wait a minute. Wait. What?